You're new around here, right? You're my newest subscriber. Look, here's how it works. In the version of the world that I live in Tennessee, there's some strange botany going on. Is that the word? Comments that people leave in my videos grow on trees and plants. I got a comment from a video I made called 57-year-old man, no hair loss, but still can't grow a beard. What's funny is I just walked into the office and I saw him, Kevin. And he said, well, what's up, Nick? And I said, I'm getting there. That was my response. I thought it was a clever response. I'm getting there. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I'm great. If I'm not feeling great, I'm going to say, I'm getting there because I'm optimistic. Our good friend Hiran Manoj Kumar left a comment on that video, and here's what he said. Quote, I'm 14 and I have the biggest beard in all my class. The biggest beard in all my class. It's really big and I had to shave it. So will I lose my hair? End quote. Now, of course, I am becoming world famous for my original theory that the sooner you can grow a beard in life, the more likely you are to lose your hair at a younger age. And I also, of course, back that up with, take a look at your photo when you were 1 year old. That's a projection of how you'll look as a 35-year-old man. Just like with height, my mother did this. She doubled my height as a 2-year-old child. She doubled those inches, and it's how tall I am now. 69 inches, I'm 5'9". It worked the same for my sister. My son's supposed to be 5'8", according to this. He's nearly 7 now, but I did this when he was 2. It checks out. You can do a projection of certain things if you know the right numbers, and I believe, in theory, at least 80% of the time, they work out. So with that being said, according to my theory, if you're 14 and have a full beard and it's the longest in our class, does that mean you're going to go bald younger? According to my theory, which again, I'm not an expert, I'm basically no more than hair loss entertainment, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a professional, I'll be very clear about that. But according to my theory, if you truly have a thick beard like this, my guess is that you're already experiencing some hair loss to begin with, or you're about to. If not, you will in the next couple years. So it's not for me to say absolutely yes, you're going to go bald, but I would say these next couple years will be quite telling, especially by the time you're 16 or 17. I think that if you can grow that strong of a beard at age 14, that it's going to present itself. And there'll be less guessing for you by the time you're 19 or 20 compared to me. That I started seeing this happen around 19 or 20, but perhaps you might get there sooner if this theory checks out. So here's the good news. If you see no signs of hair loss now, you're good for now. There's also, according to my original theory that I've invented, there's still a 20% chance you're going to be fine anyway, because this only works 80% of the time. So, don't worry about it. Of course, sending me a picture probably would be the best thing. I can kind of assess your hairline anyway and kind of see. But I definitely can't deny that there's a pattern between men who could grow beards at a younger age and men who lose their hair. Let me share this story with you too, and then I'm out of here. Last night I made a video which I uploaded this morning. It was about the quiz or the survey, trying to help prove or disprove my theory. And I mentioned how my wife and I went to downtown Nashville to Bar Taco. And I mentioned that the bartender who was there basically is our server. I was talking about how he was mid to late 20s and had this low framed in forehead. And he openly talked about the fact he couldn't grow any body hair. The part of the story I left out for time's sake is right next to him was another bartender. And this guy was Norwood 4 with definitely thinning going on, okay? And he had a beard much, much longer than mine right now. And he overheard the conversation that I was having with my server, my bartender or whatever. And so my server said, hey, you should talk to this guy. He's got a YouTube channel about hair loss. And then immediately the bartender took over the conversation. I didn't even have to say anything. He said, yeah, so this guy, this YouTuber guy, is saying that if you lose your hair sooner, then that means you can grow, you've always been able to grow a good beard. And the guy said, Yeah, look at me. Here I am. And sure enough, thinning, receding, balding, thick beard. Meanwhile, my server can't grow a beard, can't grow body hair, and has the lowest framed in forehead I mean, it was like framed in around here. And by the way, the server there, he was European descent, apparently. He could have possibly been Jewish. He looked like, and he had a tattoo on his arm that said Shalom, which maybe he was part Jewish, but he had blonde hair. I don't know. What I do know is, right there in front of me at Bar Taco in Nashville, I saw this happening in real life, and I was not surprised by it. It's so stereotypical. It's such a cliche. It's so predictable for me. This is how it works 80% of the time. Now, let me close this video to our friend Kumar. Don't freak out about this, okay? This is all theory, and the next couple years, you'll be able to really know if this is going to be the case for you. And you know, consider this. I was 16 and had a pretty good beard. It was pretty good. I had a better beard than most classmates for myself as a 16-year-old. And I'm not completely bald. Look how much hair I have. But I am Norwood 3 with thinning. So maybe at worst, maybe you'll be like me at age 30. You know, it's one of those things. We can take this in stride. We can look for patterns, but we don't base our lives around this. But if you were going to go bald by 25, would you want to know? I did, and that's why I asked the lady who cut my hair if I was going to go bald. I asked her when I was 19, and she told me a very controversial theory that a lot of people disagree with, but I believe. She looked at where my hairline was going up, and she saw these shorter hairs right there that weren't anywhere else, and she said, yeah, that's a sign that it's starting to recede there. And she was right. In my case, it worked. So the things I say on here, they're theory. I see them happen in my own life. It doesn't mean they're true for everybody. But I like to explore it. I'm no expert. I'm an entertainer. But by doing these videos, I think I'm exploring a lot of things that we at least need to talk about. And the more people we can have talk about them, the more we can understand them. I mean, I'm curious too. A beard at 14, but without a picture, it's really hard to know how thick your beard is and how your hairline looks. It's question marks for me too. For all of us. But we can learn from each other. We're the hair loss community. We're the brotherhood of the hair loss. So yeah, I guess I need to check out a picture to know for sure. But even then, it's all theory. Let me know your thoughts. Let's communicate about this. I loved it. This is fascinating to me. I'm Nick Shell. And what do I only talk about? Hair loss.